Hello everybody, Michael here for Tactica Imperialis with a very smug Ben. If you have just watched the previous video, if not, there'll be a link in the description. You will have seen a battle report between the two of us where I was teaching Ben to play Warhammer 40k. And, spoiler alert, he won. He beat me on kill points.
No, wait, I've never played before, never touched.
No, he's never played before, and he beat me. This is why 40k is awesome. It's kind of like why football is awesome sometimes, because the weirdest things can happen. The veterans and the noobs, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to just start off by saying that was a really good game. I was a little concerned about the idea of a mirror match where we run exactly the same list, but I think it came off okay. The two lists balanced up quite well. They were obviously very well balanced. They're identical, but the alternate deployment styles and tactical play, I think, did make a small difference. But the main reason I wanted to do this little sit and talk is to get the opinion of the man to my left. So, for your first game of 40k, what do you think?
I quite liked it, you know, because it's not all about skill. You know, there is a little bit of luck, which is why I kind of beat you. But
Partially.
Yeah. So you know, I think anyone can kind of pick it up. You don't have to have serious experience to be able to play it. I know it's quite a simple version anyway, but
yeah, that was the more complex game. That was 40k. I could have shown you Age of Sigmar, which is the very, very simple rule set for a different universe, but I thought that would be an easier demonstration because the channel's more of a 40k channel anyway. But I was a little worried that, particularly after we deployed, that you just didn't get a word I was saying, that you were completely confused. But I think you sort of grasped it as we went on.
Yeah, I definitely had to get in the game and have that first round and see what you play. Because I'll be honest with you, there's a lot to pick up, especially for someone who's never even, you know, I know I've heard of Warhammer, but I've never looked at any of the rules or seen anyone play before. So
yeah, I think this is the issue I've had explaining it to people who've never played or never looked into the hobby. The game is so good when you get into it. It's just getting into it, and of course then there's the financial side, which is why of course getting into the hobby is a bit of an issue these days, at least for a complete noob anyway. And I definitely think you picked it up very, very fast. Once you'd watched me do turn one and once you'd done your own turn one, you picked it up very fast to the point where, admittedly, you needed a bit of poking in the right direction, but you were coming up with tactical counterplays. Yeah. You were thinking about, okay, so where's the next thing going to be in range of? Am I going to be able to make that charge? Who do I need to shoot? Will this shooting make a difference? You did really start to think, and it really threw me off how quickly you grasped it. Because I was expecting to have two turns where I was going to be on top and I was like, okay, I can sort this, I'll take this out, and then he'll probably grasp it towards the end. And then all of a sudden it was just, nope, I've got you now. And it was a real eye-opener as to how fast this game is to pick up. Caught me out. Yeah. Was that, because obviously orcs are a very combat-driven army. You noticed you did most of your damage in close combat, apart from making my shooter boys run off. But is it the sort of playstyle you prefer? Because you seem to be talking a lot about, should I play defensively? I don't know if orcs is maybe the army for you, or whether you'd rather play a more gunline, sit-back type of army.
Again, you know, especially at the start when I didn't really understand or didn't grasp it as much, and you moved your whole army forward. We had a reduced playing size.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't really know what to do, and also I'd made the mistake of not putting my war boss with another squad, so
he was a bit vulnerable.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking, oh god, I may need to go on the defense here. So
yeah,
but yeah, no, maybe a different. Maybe I'd be playing a little bit differently if we had a bigger size table.
Yeah, and a standard size table, at least for that sort of game, you're probably looking at a 4x4 table. If you'd put that army together into 1500, you're looking at 6x4. So you'd have had a lot more space to work with because we were on about a 3-foot long table. We'd have had another 12 inches between us on a standard size board. So I do think that maybe made a difference, but I would also observe that if an orc player particularly starts thinking defensively on turn one, he's either playing an orc gunline list, which I have the models to do with shooters and looters and things, or he should probably not be playing orcs. But that's fine. You seem like the type of player who would revolve around his gun more than his axe. So with the new Tau coming out and Space Marines being so ubiquitous, I think if you were to play again with another hobbyist, I would ask if you could play a more shooty-based army. Something like Space Marines, Tau, Necrons, Eldar if you really want to be an arsehole because Eldar are just OP. That means overpowered, by the way. And those are the sorts of I think maybe that would be more suited. But then again, 40k is a very shooting-based game, and so having people not play shooting is a bit of a breath of fresh air for me. It works both ways. The question is, if you were offered another game next week, whether against me with a different army or whatever, would you say yes if you had the time? Would you go and play again?
Yeah, I know I would, because I enjoyed it. It does take a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I know this isn't. I thought maybe like each game is a half an hour game, something like that. It's in excess of an hour, maybe two.
Yeah.
So, but no, I actually I was quite impressed. I did have some fun. I was a little bit skeptical coming into it. I've never
seen it before.
Yeah, never thought about that I'd enjoy it. But no, I did actually really enjoy it.
I'm glad to hear that, and I understand. Like, if you were playing Age of Sigmar, we'd probably been able to play 2 games in the time it took us to play that one, even with the noob factor.
I like the fact that it was still a challenge. Well, obviously it was going to be challenging anyway. It's my first one, but I was able to grasp it. But it was also very challenging.
Because I think if you played again, even with a different list, you sort of understand how the mechanics work, how the psychic phase works. I mean, some of the rules that apply to orcs, like the +1 strength on the charge, the +1 psychic dice, those don't apply ubiquitously. They're kind of unique, but you at least have a better grasp of the game, and I hope, it is my hope, that you'll be at least interested in hobbying again, even if you don't get into the hobby full time, which I completely understand, that you'll at least be interested in at least showing interest in the game and maybe coming back on the channel, doing a few more battle reports, and I think that could be a lot of fun. And if anyone else around our accommodation is interested in the game, then I'm sure then we can get the word out and maybe you can have another one. But we'll see about that. That's my problem to deal with, not yours. So thank you very much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed this little post-game review. He still hasn't stopped grinning, the cheeky git. So we'll wrap this up. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Michael for Tactica Imperialis with Ben, who you may well see again. We'll see you all the next time. Bye-bye.